See rockets as they flew, towns below me. Hey, everybody, welcome to Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday, coming to you from the aftermath of the 4th of July. Hope you all had a great 4th. And Tristan, if you watch this, whatever you guys do in Australia, I think it's all the legacy holidays we have are so funny because, like, they just become what the culture does with them, not what the intention was. Because, like, literally nobody in America was yesterday like, man, forget you, England. Um, and if you're in my area, the 4th of July is also has its own interesting twist, and the fact that a lot of my friends, family, and people in the region are of the Native American tribe of the Lumbee tribe. And so this weekend is also Lumbee homecoming. So it's uh it's full of interesting stuff. But scripture tells us rejoice with those who rejoice. So if you were rejoicing yesterday, pew pew, I rejoice with you. If you were not, I also don't rejoice with you. Whatever. We're here for it. I'm gonna jump in for the next half hour or so and do some news together. Enjoy this Friday morning. I actually have like off of work, which is super nice. Um, but yeah, let's jump into it. An interesting thing I saw this past week, and it's not new because technically it started on June 6th. Um, there is a new TV show on Amazon Prime. It's kind of a talk show called Council Culture. And it's a TV show effectively of men giving each other counsel, of dudes sitting around talking and giving each other wisdom, sharing life advice and stuff like that. Now, I have not watched this show. I can't attest that it's good, or anything of that nature. Uh, what I can do is tell you I like the idea. I like that that's something that we're doing. I like that that's something that we can actually encourage and support and celebrate. It is hosted by Nick Cannon, which doesn't add to the credibility of it for me. But that being said, the idea is still valid. The idea of having a show where guys are giving each other counsel and wisdom and encouragement. I literally am all here for that. So I haven't watched it yet. I do plan to check it out. And I'm going to check that out at some point this week, probably. But Council Culture, Amazon Prime, said it premiered June 6th. Because realistically, guys will still do most anything to not go to therapy. So this could be a good benefit. But that's a thing. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Um, a neat thing that happened this past week is that Coldplay was performing, and Coldplay brought out Michael J. Fox to do a guitar solo. Um, and I think that's pretty cool. I did not know this. This was information that I learned as this week looking into this story. But Coldplay formed as a band because of Back to the Future. Because of Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future, they became a band. And so it was kind of a big deal and a really sweet situation to have Michael J. Fox come out and play a big guitar portion. There's videos of it. He did a great job. And it's exciting to see. Just thought that was a cool idea. I am personally pumped. Good evening, Tristan. Um, I'm personally pumped. And I know there's been some negative backlash. There always is, whatever. There's been some negative backlash at Angel Studios recently with some of the stuff with the Chosen distribution and everything else, but they still tend to make better quality Christian stuff than most. So I am personally pumped that there is a movie coming in November. Yes, November, about Bonhoeffer. Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a theologian, a pastor, a spy, an attempted assassin. Um, and dude was kind of a gangster. And I've always been pretty intrigued by his story. I am more so intrigued by his theology. I enjoy his doctrine and theology in his books. Um, Cost of Discipleship is a banger. It's not a banger, but it's good and it's deep. But there are posters out for Bonhoeffer, and I'm just excited there's going to be a movie about it, specifically about him that's actually going to also deal with the theological aspect. Because we've had movies that have dealt with the assassin part of his story. Like Tom Cruise was in a movie that dealt with the assassin part of his story. But I'm down for actually seeing one that completes the whole idea and does that. So Bonhoeffer is coming out in November. That'll be cool. Um, an angry lady in Spain destroyed $2.7 million of wine because she lost her job. And so that's fun. Uh, and things that I didn't know were coming and I don't know that we need, and I'm sure we're going to hear lots of thoughts. Jack Kesey is now playing Hellboy. I didn't know there was another Hellboy movie in the works. I didn't know that we had officially scrapped David Harbour. Um, I never watched the Hellboy reboot recently. Um, uh, I don't mean this in any super negative way, but if you've got Mila Jovovich attached to to a like a nerd property, that automatically downgrades it to a B movie for me. I appreciated her uh mainstreaming Resident Evil films, but she's she's a like a B movie heroine. Um Tristan says he's up for more Hellboy, and here's what I'll say. Nothing about this Hellboy visual strikes me as impressive visually, but I feel like the tone of what I'm seeing in the storyline for this looks much more like what the Hellboy comics and lore and stuff feels like. This feels like, you know, True Detective with Hellboy and some BRPD. So I'm interested, um, and I will watch it. See, I didn't watch the one with David Harbour, but I will watch this one. But I probably should watch the one with David Harbour. I don't know. It's not like he's going broke. He's working hard. Um, but yeah. Um, Kite Man series begins July 18th. If you aren't aware, Tom King kind of started a thing back in his DC run about elevating Kite Man to a pseudo mythical pop culture figure, and it's carried on. It became a fixture of the Harley Quinn series, and now Kite Man is getting his own series where he's running a bar. So that's a thing that starts in 2 weeks. If you are a wrestling fan and you are also a fan of chicken, there's a WWE um combo at Bojangles for the reasonable time, and each cup in the Bojangles WWE combo comes with a different tag team. The whole thing is being promoted by the New Day, but yeah, so Kane and Undertaker, et cetera, et cetera. If you like chicken and you like wrestling, you should go get you some Bo stuff. And other odd combos, Little Caesars has its own unique brand of Pepsi now that can only be purchased to buy its advertising at Little Caesars. It is pineapple Pepsi. Pepsi pineapple can now be purchased at Little Caesars, and they recommend pairing them with the Crazy Puffs. Sentences I didn't plan on saying today, but yes, if you are interested, you can pick up some Crazy Puffs and pineapple Pepsi at your local Little Caesars. I am interested in trying the pineapple Pepsi. Um, do I know it's going to be garbage? Yes, but I am interested in trying it. I'm not knocking it. It might be magical. Who knows? But yeah, that's a deal. Um, Inside Out is the first full movie of 2024 animated film to hit $1 billion. It's continuing to break lots of domestic and box office records. Yeah, it's making money. So y'all that are up for that emotional damage, um, how about that? I'm gonna pass just because I feel like it's too close to home with my family right now. So hard no. Um, yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and just mention this. I was debating on even saying anything. The Hawk Tuah girl again. Um, appeared at a Zach Bryan concert in Nashville, and she also had fun hanging out with Shaq afterwards. So there's a whole deal with that happened. Um, there is video and everything of it, but production for One Piece season 2, the Netflix series has officially begun. They did a video of the entire Straw Hat crew getting back on the Going Merry and getting things ready. So season 2 has officially begun production for One Piece. Um, there's a lot of stuff that happened legally this week for the U.S. Supreme Court, and one of the things that did take place beyond just presidentially stuff is that the Supreme Court has allowed that cities can criminalize homelessness. um, where you can be arrested for being for sleeping on the street or things like that. Uh, there's been a lot of things that we've done as a government and as a country and as the world. I'm assuming I haven't dealt with homelessness beyond America, but I know it exists. And one of the things is that we've now criminalized it. We've done things like put bars in the middle of benches so people can't sleep. One of the biggest examples for me is in Chapin Park in Chapin Park in Myrtle Beach. Um, was a park where a lot of homeless people gathered. So they put lights up 24/7. They put bars in all the middle of the benches. And they've done everything to the point of I was put in cuffs once for feeding the homeless on a mission trip. It's that kind of party. But now it is able for cities throughout the US to criminalize homelessness. I don't feel like this is the solution. I don't feel like this does it give them potentially a meal and a place to sleep for a night? Absolutely. Um, but I don't feel like that solves anything. But I also can't solve it myself. And you know what? Jesus said the poor would always be with us. And so I don't have solutions, but I do think it's kind of horrible. Um, this is the thing. It's what's happening. Um, they said that yeah, what was it? 25%, that homelessness has risen 25% since 2017. Um, and yeah, it's just a lot. And other less depressing but equally weirdly depressing news. Charlotte the Stingray has died. The Stingray who magically became pregnant and then lost the babies has died, and it says that she died because of a reproductive disease. So probably the very thing that allowed her to become pregnant the way she did is probably what caused her life in that capacity. But Charlotte the Stingray did pass away this week in North Carolina in national news. This is the first Wimbledon, if you're familiar, tennis. This is the first Wimbledon since 1996 to not include one of the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena. This is the first Wimbledon since I was a sophomore in high school that does not include one of the Williams sisters. And that's just kind of bonkers. Um, but time goes on. Um, in a cool bit of nerd news, there's been a lot that's been going on in the filming of Superman, the DCU movie coming out. It is filming in Cleveland, Ohio. Um, so if you are in the Cleveland area, you can see a lot going on. But we've got our first pictures of Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, but the important one is Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. And Guy Gardner looks hideous, but that's the point. So if you look at Guy Gardner as Green Lantern, you like think, this dude looks horrible. Then he's doing it right. Um, like if you've ever seen Mad TV, the Stewart, look what I can do. Like, don't look at me, that guy. I feel like just from the distance photos I've seen of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, he looks like Stewart from Mad TV. Hi, Santana. And Santana, by the way, I have not forgotten your stickers. I've got stuff to mail to you. Um, and also, I'm not going to move my camera around because stuff's going to fall over. But I have a pile, like yay big, of Faith and Fandom stuff and Patreon packages that are going out this week. So that's happening. Santana, I know I needed to mail you the Goku picture. The God is a fan of you. And if you can remind me what the other sticker is and inbox me your address, I'm going to get that out to you this week. But on the Superman filming, a really cool bit is that the son of Christopher Reeves is now going to be in the movie. Christopher Reeve's son is now going to be playing a Metropolis reporter. And it was neat to see the son of Christopher Reeves on the set and being filmed and everything like that. So that's a cool thing to give Christopher Reeves. And I've just got to say, the fact that we're starting a Superman movie and I've already seen footage of Superman with Mr. Terrific, and I've seen pictures of Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Guy Gardner all in the same space. Yep. Okay. Jesus and coffee. Yep, that was it. I'll get that to you, Santana. But the fact that we're already seeing more collected superheroes in one movie than we've seen like anywhere else outside of the Justice League, I'm pretty excited about. It's going to be fun. There's also a documentary series coming on Kingdom Come. The classic DC novel from Alex Ross and Mark Waid is getting its own documentary on the making of that. So if you're a fan of Kingdom Come, which you should be if you've not read this, because so many versions of DC stories are all offshoots of Kingdom Come and reboots and attempts to recreate Kingdom Come. Um, to celebrate this year, Jason Mewes, Jay and Silent Bob, is on had just reached 14 years of sobriety. Um, listen, y'all, we're in a time of coming of age where Jason Mewes has been sober for 14 years and Kevin Smith has given up marijuana. Y'all, we're getting there. I'm really excited. I'm going to be at a show with Jason and Kevin in about uh 5 weeks, and I am fully intending to have conversations. I'm also planning to invite Kevin to Geek Church. Um, and if Kevin agrees to come to Geek Church, I'm going to do a Kevin Smith themed message at Geek Church and kind of collaborate with him if he allows me to. This is all stuff going on in my head, but it's it's a discussion. Um, Planning on it. But congratulations to Jason Mewes for 14 years of sobriety. Mike Cavendish is won the 35 stages at Tour de France. Um, cool. I don't know much about the Tour de France, but that's we're celebrating. Ryan Reynolds on his Instagram recently did a Taylor Swift tease. There's been lots of talk for a hot minute that Taylor Swift is going to play a role in Deadpool, potentially Dazzler, as we've heard many, many times just on the rumor wheel. But Ryan Reynolds posted on his Instagram Deadpool recreating the Evermore cover. Um, my daughter says it looks more like folklore, but he also put the song Evermore in the music for the story. So that happened. And other weird combos. Um, Cody Rhodes did a promo for The Boys, like the superhero TV series. Quite often and recently, people have made jokes and references that Cody Rhodes' outfit looks a lot like Homelander from The Boys, which it does. Um, and so they had Cody Rhodes film a promo for The Boys where he's wearing Anthony Starr, like the guy who plays Homelander, he's wearing Anthony Starr's actual Homelander cape for the promo. So if you've been feeling that Cody Rhodes looks like Homelander, this should make your whole day because they've officially bought into it. Um, and this is horrible and sad news. I in my area, North Carolina, specifically Fayetteville, North Carolina, a 7-year-old boy, Zion Gibbs, um, was killed in a drive-by shooting uh, while playing video games in his living room. Uh, and that's just horrible. Like, apparently 6 shots hit the young man's house. Um, and yeah, the mother is seeking justice as she should. Um, but I am going to be looking into trying to get in contact with the family to see if there's something like I slash faith and fandom slash our church community can do just to bless their family. Kid was just sitting in his living room playing Fortnite. And that's just sad. Santana, to answer your question. Santana asks, have you seen The Boys? And she says, because Jeremiah has been asking about it. Jeremiah is her teenage son. Um, I have seen The Boys, Santana. I do not recommend you see The Boys, Santana. I do not recommend Jeremiah sees The Boys, Santana. Um, um, The Boys is a dark, gritty, um, superhero TV show about the fact of a group of guys who want to take down superheroes, that they want to kind of basically destroy the superhero community that does exist. Um, but it is without a doubt the most violent, offensive, dark, and ugly thing going in terms of, you know, dealing with superheroes. So no. Um Santana, he does not Jeremiah does not need to watch The Boys. And you can tell him I said so, and he could be mad at me and yell at me the next time he sees me. But that's a hard no on my end for that. I am holding a little blaster from Halo just because have something to fidget with and keep me from making noise on my desk. Um but yeah, let's see what else. Netflix has officially shelved its live action version of Horizon Zero Dawn. There's apparently a series coming, but stuff has happened and it is now not happening. Stranger Things season 5 is halfway through filming. And it has been described as 8 movies. 8 movies that each episode is more than an hour, and it is going to be about 8 films worth of stuff. There was a potential Umbrella Academy spinoff series called the Sparrow Academy. Um, uh, and that has also been canceled. Um, yes. Now, and Tristan Birch says he agrees with everything I said about The Boys. And here's the deal. It's a groundbreaking comic book. The show is a better story than the comic book, but it's like when I say hard R, hard R, hard R. Uh if you are a fan of Attack on Titan, There is a VR game, um, Attack on Titan VR Unbreakable, coming on July 23rd. Um, Santana, hey, listen, everybody's not supposed to know everything. We don't have to have all the stuff. So feel free to ask and I will point out whatever you need to. I got you, fam. Um, but I will say this, the idea of wearing a VR headset and getting eaten by a Titan is a hard pass for me. I do not want that smoke at all. There is a movie coming out called Afraid, where the AI is highlighted funky, and it's basically the idea that a um AI version of Alexa um becomes sentient in a family's home and decides to start interfering and interacting in the family's lives to the point of murder and other crimes and stuff. Santana, I miss you, fam. I miss you a lot, and I hope you're doing well. Um, a man in War Warwickshire, England, was sentenced to 4 months in prison for carrying a 6-inch Master Sword from Legend of Zelda, the size of a pin. He had a Master Sword in a sheath and was walking around with it, and it was his fidget thing, like the thing that he played with, held, whatever, for his life. And it was in a sheath, like the actual scabbard for the sword, and it was considered a weapon. And he was arrested, and he was also charged almost $200, but he has to spend 4 months in jail for having a 6-inch Master Sword. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm in trouble. um, if a 6-inch Master Sword is going to get you jail time, jinkies. Um, because I promise there's at least two metal batarangs on me at all times, and mm-mm, I'm in trouble. But I also, I hope Nintendo blesses this man and gives him like a swag bag or something for the trouble he's gone through. Um, yeah, that's terrible. Um, he's 48 years old too. That's just a hard thing to go to jail for the Master Sword. The Catholic Church is about to canonize their first gamer saint. Um, Carlo Acutis will be the first millennial saint of the Catholic Church to be a gamer. Um, he died several years back, but there have been several miracles accredited to him, and so he's going to be canonized as a saint. And IGN and other nerd agencies are, commenting on this that it's going to be a thing. Um, so I don't have a lot on the sainthood process or anything of that nature, but I just thought it was interesting. They are teasing that the Snyder cut of Justice League is going to get released in theaters. And let's see, we had Barbenheimer last summer. Now 2024's big thing is that they are releasing Gladiator 2 and Wicked on the same day. And so people are trying to come up with the best mashup name for that. So if you have an idea of what the best mashup name for Wicked 2, or sorry, for the best mashup for Gladiator 2 and Wicked, throw that out there. People are listening. Um, a video game for The Quiet Place is coming. The Quiet Place, the John Krasinski horror line that just released a new feature, is releasing a video game, and I think that'll be terrifying. It'll probably be an absolute blast, but it's going to be terrifying. Um, McDonald's has just released a Jujutsu Kaisen themed special grade garlic sauce that you can get with any order of nuggets. So if you want some Jujutsu Kaisen sauce, McDonald's has you covered. They've also announced that a new Resident Evil game is in the works by the folks that made Resident Evil 7. So if you're a fan of that franchise, uh you're gonna have that chance. So hold on, gotta send a text. Um, does it taste like fingers? Bro, I have no idea. I'll probably not actually try it. I will probably pick up some sauce to give to some of my anime friends. But yeah. I don't know that I'm going to actually be on that. They've announced that the final portion of the Demon Slayer story is going to be released as three separate movies. If you've read the manga, Demon Slayer has already officially ended as a manga, but they are going to release the last portions of the storyline when this season's over as three full-length feature films. So they're going to end Demon Slayer that way. Um, in China, a new species of spider has been discovered and is named after a monster from Monster Hunter, called the Otacelia kezu, after the kezu flying wyvern from Monster Hunter. So there is a spider with no eyes, and it's named after a monster from Monster Hunter. Covered all of that. Recently, Will Smith, Kirk Franklin, Chandler Moore, and the Sunday Service Choir all performed at the BET Awards with the song "You Can Make It." And there's a new film out this weekend called "Sound of Honor," which is the story of Possum Trot, how this family adopted 77 foster children. New faith-based film that's out. Um, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I already don't like spiders, and then you tell me there's a blind spider just going willy-nilly. I don't need that. Um, the city of Gleckenkirchen in Germany is temporarily renaming itself to Swiftkirchen to honor Taylor Swift's Eras tour that is coming to the city. So they are officially rebranding the entire city Swiftkirchen to honor Taylor Swift coming through. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are officially split up. They have been since March, but he is moving out, and they are publicly announcing that their marriage is over for the second time. And that's not shade, that's just for information that they already have previously been married and divorced. Um, there was a uh, Hindu gathering in northern India, and 87 people have died because of a stampede that took place uh, in the religious gathering there. And that's horrible. And I just like wonder what point, what's going, yeah, how is that transpiring with 87 people um go through that? Yeah. And a Chinese rocket ship accidentally exploded after it fired prematurely. Like it got accidentally launched and then exploded. North Korea also fired missiles this week as tests that failed and exploded. And last thing I want to leave you is this is been reading through Romans 14, and I've seen a lot of people with some really ugly views and stuff lately, and just this thought keeps coming to mind. Romans 14:13. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother. Um, being convinced, verse 14, I'm convinced, being fully persuaded in the Lord Jesus, that nothing is unclean in itself, but if anyone regards something unclean, it is unclean for that person. And y'all just, if you've got convictions, please hold strongly to them. But don't demoralize and hurt people just because you have stronger opinions than they do or a different understanding. Um, and just be kind to each other. Uh, Verse 18 says, because anyone who serves Christ in this way is pleasing to God and receives human approval. Um, Therefore, let us make every effort to do what leads to peace and mutual edification. Um, and then one of my favorite things in verse 22, and I'm gonna wrap up with this. It says, so whatever you believe about these things, keep it between yourself and God. Blessed is the one who does not condemn himself by what he approves. So have opinions, have strong convictions, live them out, but shh, you don't got to poo poo on everybody and you don't got to be mean. I got to bounce. I got to run to a meeting. It was great talking to y'all. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a fantastic fourth weekend. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Our Patreon supporters, um, you good people, Pa. Well, thank you, sir. Um, uh, Patreon supporters, I got stuff coming for you, and I've got special stuff ordered to give our Patreon supporters towards the end of July. And we just got approval times for GalaxyCon for Geek Church and the Faith and Fandom discussion panel. Going to have information on that all coming up soon. I hope y'all have a great day and peace out, fam.